Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, June 17th. That's right, Throat Punch Thursday, day after FOMC. And we heard some things yesterday about inflation rising faster than they had originally predicted. Well, duh. And that they're looking at potential rate hikes in 2023. Now, remember, these change so quickly. If something were to happen, the market were to, take a drastic turn, some not necessarily the market, but maybe there's a problem on the jobs front or whatever. They will adjust that. So this was a bit of an overreaction, I think, to start with when the news did come out. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the 1 day on this and kind of walk through what happened there. So it was really a lackluster day, which is pretty common when the Fed does speak. It's a lot of we didn't really know what he was going to say this time. A lot of times we do know. We were like, okay, we can kind of predict this. So it was really lackluster. And then he spoke, and then we talked about interest rates, and it just really kind of went to heck in a handbasket. But then we decided, you know what? Nope, it's okay. Everything looks rosy. We're going to bring it on up. And then we went into the overnight session here. There's a lot to digest in there, and we will. We're well off of our lows from this morning. We were actually doing a little bit better before I started this video. Where we're starting to pull back now as we get a little bit closer to the open. We still have about an hour and a half till the open, but not uncommon that we get that pull here around this time in the morning. And we'll just continue to watch, step aside, and let the market shake out. Don't try and chase it down, but don't try to bottom pick either, because we don't know where the bottom is at the moment. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about here is, I'm going to go back to the daily chart. And these are the futures. I really like looking at the futures. They look very, very similar to the ETF, but just a little bit different because of how they trade. Here, the SPY futures are below the 20. We've used this point of control, but we've come up here so many times and made a new high, made a new high, made a new high. But what we haven't done on that new high is then say, okay, we're going to take a run. So it just seems like they're like, nah, okay, we made a new high. It's like getting to the top of Everest and going, I think I'm going to go get some Chick-fil-A for lunch, right? It's just the way it goes. I think that is a little bit of a telling sign. We've built in an awful lot of volume in this area. And I think that you can kind of draw in an area. We drew in this 41.16 area is a bit of support, and clearly this 42.58, 42.60 is going to be just a channel for us to see if we can break. So I would just say we're not very excited in the market, but we're not all doom and gloom and just trading it down. So we're really just stuck in this range, so keep that in mind when you buy, especially if you buy options that you intend to swing. You have to prepare to hold them longer and to sit through the rapid rotation that we are getting in the sectors. I mean, it just happens so fast that it makes it very hard to hold on to swing trades for very long. So that being said, we did get into run yesterday. I will post that video. It is in the folder in the Dropbox there. I put it in there right away, and I'll post it on YouTube this morning. Anyway, just watching very cautiously. Want to make sure we get back up above the 20. I do have a few charts to go over today to watch, but I am going to be very hesitant to get into or add onto anything. So, and we looked at these later yesterday. CNC is one of them. As long as we stay over the 20, really nice volume. You can see we have these couple days of a nice reversal there as we move away from the 50. Now, it doesn't have a long trend, right? This is just 1 week, and this is a very undecided week. So you trade that one with a little bit more caution and maybe take your profits just a little bit quicker, but it is a decent one to take a look at here. BRM just playing a reversal. We want this one. Yesterday, really, some pretty decent volume and bucking the trend, and the overall market closed topside. So really just looking for a recovery of that. Caution as you get to that 5,200, that's going to be pretty steep resistance to get through. But until we get there, that's up to about 42.85, and we're sitting at 41.19. So just a small play in there, I think, is setting up. Okay, the other one we looked at yesterday, XBEV. Look at this top closed top side. We also went through NEO and Tesla. Did a little thing, but still below the 200. XBEV in this sector, really quite strong. I like it as we come up here. This blue line is a bit of a resistance, so that's at 41.75. But once we clear out of 41, let's go ahead and say 42. I think this has some really nice room to run. I like XBEV. I would be lookout to the October 15th 45s on those. And I like Zoom. Right, nice couple of days of action. Took a little break yesterday. Started pushing back up. Plenty of room to the 200. I really see the first area of resistance though coming in about 377. Didn't really like any of the options on those, but I do like the look at Zoom. We'll see if they'll set up a little bit better. One that hit in the biotech area is ORPH. So the other day this had this really weird candle, and not on a lot of volume. Not even a lot of, I mean, this typically you can see has ridiculously low volume. But we traded into this point of control for a couple days yesterday. We took a nice march up. So just, I would be very cautious with this. I don't know if this is potentially a meme stock setting up, or maybe it already is. I didn't see it on the list. But this, just for fun, and I don't mean to say that lightly, but if you are a day trader, a scalper, this one might give you some good opportunity to do that here with equity. I would not do it with any options. I didn't see any options on it anyway. In the meme stock area, take a look at RIDE coming up over the 20, the 3 and 8, all sitting right there. Use the 50 up out of that point of control. Not a lot of resistance here. I do like the ride for equity better, but the 20 strike does have some interest there, especially if Reddit does pick it up. You know it'll go running. And then this one, I know this one beat to heck. It keeps coming up on the Reddit board though, so I thought I would take a look. And so far, still holding a little bit of this gap. So maybe what I would watch for is a continued push down to fill this gap, and see if we then take a reversal. On those, the 820-15s have an awful lot of interest. But again, be very, very cautious with any of these meme stocks. They are not meant to date. They are meant to take out for a quick cup of coffee and then dump on the side of the road. Okay, that is my watch list. I have a few others that we will talk about in the room. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out, Heather C. at givingtreetrading.com.